uncovered 7 ancient wells on her land of Knocknagoshel in northeast Kerry, an old and long forgotten source of pure, fresh drinking water with over 66 minerals. Could you not just say 60 fucking seven? Like, why does it have to be? Oh,
66.
I know,
Jesus
right? Like, what a
Christ,
number to
man.
choose. Like,
Or
that
just
would
say a round number, 60 or 70.
like 666. The water of the beast is what she found, with a distinctive taste, sulfur. Um, this is Michelle's true story.
This is.
Hauntingly beautiful and deeply. I have to read this book now. A deeply spiritual, inspiring journey of a Kundalini awakening
Oh, wow.
within Michelle Keane. Now that's fucking incredible. Now I don't know if people are aware of what a Kundalini awakening is, but it's no minor event.
No.
In Western medicine, they call it a nervous breakdown, I believe, or a break.
Schizophrenia.
Yeah, just like I wonder if she did indeed have a Kundalini awakening, um, because that's no fucking small thing. It's not like something you do over a weekend getaway. I'm going away for a Kundalini, but really, okay, that's incredible.
That have
Yeah.
huge.
Now, the other thing that people will maybe be a bit skeptical about is this business of channeling your ancestors as to the usefulness of the water. I mean, people will think you're crackers.
And maybe so, and maybe they're right, Pat. But I suppose what I have understood on this journey is I have basically started this as a diary. I had never any intention to write a book until I met my Guruji Sashi Dubey in India,
Oh, Jesus
and
Christ.
he made me write
Doubling
this book.
down there.
Yeah, and this came from these telepathic visions that directed you towards this. Now, what about this offer of 34 million for a portion of your land?
Well, I've decided not to accept it at the moment, Pat, because
At the
I know
moment.
we're looking.
She's not selling out to the corporations just yet, folks.
Just a higher figure, like 4 million is not.
Oh my God, she's disgusting.
Right, so we'll leave the Muslim brotherhood there, or sisterhood. Yeah, it looks like one joint period. That's what it looked like. Yeah, and we'll have a look at Michelle.
Okay.
Because Michelle's march is coming up on the 8th.
Oh, by the way, I was told from the chat that Michelle made a very good speech today in Dublin.
Do we have a link?
Yeah. I asked for one from the chat, but nobody's forthcoming.
Maybe during a break, I'll have a look, see if I can find something.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about Michelle. We've been having a look at Michelle over the last couple of weeks, kind of from a humorous angle, as we tend to do most of the time, and a semi-serious look as well. Again, some people very upset. We lost subscribers because people got upset because we were
all of those 2 subscribers. I'm still crying about it.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to make it sound more dramatic. But we also gain subscribers. So people just need to, not people listening now, but people in general, just calm the fuck down. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Take fun out of people. If it can't stand up to ridicule, it's probably not worth much to begin with anyway, And it's hilarious. Like, so we have this fucking powerhouse of a woman, let's be honest. Like, so you don't just get to those positions because there's nothing to you. Now, granted, it may be a sprinkling of madness that brings these people forward, but genius is closely related to madness, and so we have this powerful woman, a powerful figure, powerful size, who encapsulates people. Like, people are drawn to her. I've been to a couple of events where she spoke, and she captures the crowd's attention. She calls out to the crowd. Granted, it's every fucking time she speaks. Like, will they silence you? No. And so on and so forth. So she has the ear of the crowd, and she has an energy about her as well that people like, and some charisma, which is desperately lacking.
And it's hard to pull off with her accent.
Yeah, it is. Like, it is. It's the Kerry accent. It's not a great fucking accent. It's kind of it's a comedy accent, is what it is. It's we have all those jokes about Irish people, how stupid they are, and then internally within Ireland, it's the Kerry man who people look on as the idiot. But they, from experience, I can tell you, they ain't no fucking stupid. people, cute whores.
Yeah, the Healy Rays. Come on.
Yeah, so they'll yuck it up with that kind of stupid gobshite gombeen leprechaun act. But behind the scenes, they're clever and shrewd fucking people. Right. So with Michelle, I was kind of doing a little bit of research into her, and one of the auditing lads, I don't know if it was 420 or DJI Ireland, one of them posted a kind of a bit of an intro from her website. So I was kind of aware that she's somewhat of an entrepreneur. So she has an interior decorating business. She's written a few books. And she has a water company, a water bottling company that hasn't taken off the ground yet. But this is a big thing, and apparently she's been offered a lot of money for it. Refused the money for it. So I'll just have a look. Let me see if I can grab this bookmark now. So the water company is called Kingdom Water. And she wrote a book about it as well. So she wrote a book about the discovery of Kingdom Water. So in May 2018, inspired by a visit to the sacred well of the Archangel Michael in Ballinskelligs, County Kerry, I asked a renowned local water diviner to divine the land where I was born and brought up in Northwest Kerry, the parish of Knock Nagoshel, which sounds like something out of Darby O'Gill and the little say, like, that's the minute every time I hear her say it, that's where my mind goes straight to Darby O'Gill, and I can see banshees flying through the fucking air. And so it's 5 rivers that run through it in different directions. It is a place where the water has been valued for generations, for its ability to sustain life, but also for its healing and sacred properties. There are many holy wells dotted across the Kerry Peninsula, some that are hundreds of years old, which is very true. It's for the longest time, and still today, people still drink water from wells, which is the wise thing to do, really, when you think of it, given the state of most of the municipal water supply in Ireland, and the fact that it's, heavily fluoridated.
Yeah, I think we'll discuss that later. Actually, I have some comments on that, but
Sure.
in
Kerry, sorry, did you want to carry on there?
No.
All right. And Kerry, water is still often found by traditional divination rather than expensive technology. And this diviner, who was known throughout the county for his remarkable gifts, divined 7 springs on my land. We began to drill and hit the first spring exactly where the diviner said we would, at around 100 feet. We drilled further, and at 123 feet, we hit such a flow that the water shot straight up into the air in a jet. We had reached an underground river, an abundant source of clear, fresh water that tingled with purity and a rich mineral taste. And just images of her, just, like an advert for fucking 7-Up or Coca-Cola.
It's written well,
Yeah,
it sells.
Yeah, she has a gift. So yeah, it's that advert from the States. I think it's Coca-Cola, where it's a really hot day in New York, and that water hydrant is outside, and all the black children are, their clothes off and they're playing basketball, and then someone opens the fire hydrant and the water just goes everywhere, and then Michelle walks out of the ghetto building, just drenched from head to toe. She's wearing tight-fitting cotton dress. You can see, once it gets drenched, you can see everything through that. I think I'm falling in love with Michelle. So we sent repeated water samples for analysis to a local state-of-the-art laboratory, and the results that came back told us this water was every bit as vital and dynamic as we had anticipated. I'm not sure they test for vitality and dynamism in the factories. I've never seen that on a bottle. But it's half an advertisement. So and dynamism is important in your water. That's what I look for from the water. How dynamic is this water? Like, we tested again and again until we were absolutely certain we had found water that was good to drink, with a broad mineral profile, including many elements that are beneficial to health and some that are not often found in fresh water. Oil used to be called liquid gold because it was such a valuable finite resource. Now we believe the description belongs to water and of a new age.
All right.
Yeah. I think I just read the wrong fucking one.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Source of water.
Dar's case says Michelle Keane, as transparent as the water she sells.
You might want to get on to fucking counter with that. That's a great advertisement there. Where the fuck is this?
Did you want the screen capture that you sent me?
No, but that's part of the laundry.
Okay.
Oh, we'll go with this. This may not be it.
All right.
We'll do this and then we'll move on. Right. So, right.
Oh no, I think it is. I think it is though.
Yeah.
Go on.
So the story of Kingdom Water, part 2. In May 2018, as we know, Michelle Keane, inspired by a visit to the sacred well of Archangel Michael in Ballinskelligs, sent her on a most strange and wonderful journey. Over 24 extraordinary months, she saw visions granted to her by spirits and angels, received messages from her ancestors, met divine people who helped her on her path, uncovered 7 ancient wells on her land of Knocknagoshel in northeast Kerry, an old and long forgotten source of pure, fresh drinking water with over 66 minerals. Could you not just say 60 fucking 7? Like, why does it have to be
66?
I know, right? Like, what a number to choose. Like,
or just say a round number, 60 or 70.
Like 666. The water of the beast is what she found, with a distinctive taste, sulfur, and brought forth by the dynamic modern methods, which has now become branded as Kingdom Water. Very quickly, Michelle began to realize that she would need to keep a record of all that happened to her, starting with that day in Ballinskelligs. So she began to write a diary, filling with events and visions that at first she could hardly believe. I don't know. Is there a lot of mushrooms in the field? I'm very skeptical about people who have visions from angels. This is, and especially like, it's Michael, isn't it? I thought it was Gabriel when I read it first. But Muhammad himself, he got a visit from Gabriel and set the whole fucking of Islam in motion. And so I'm just concerned now that with Michelle, if she's been visited by the Archangel Michael, and other ancestors, it's kind of fucking worrying. Just a little bit. So I'd like to, maybe we can have her on and she can speak about that. I'm not so cynical or skeptical to say that, it couldn't happen. But I'm worried, and especially when you're trying to sell something. I can't imagine many archangels are coming to people and saying, do you know what you need to do? Set up a fucking water bottling factory and make an absolute mint, like go into partnership with a pharmaceutical company. That's not the God I have in mind, who was on the side of the pharmaceutical companies. But maybe because, like we alluded to earlier, our water supply is in such a fucking poor state that it may well be something to it, And I would be happier drinking, water from wells, or maybe just water that hasn't been fucked with and doesn't have shitloads of fluoride in it. That would be better for everybody all around, I think. So she began to write a diary, filling it with events and visions that at first she could hardly believe. The diary records, maybe there's something in the water. It could be that, Michelle. Or maybe more popular than you could ever imagine. Like if you just get a bottle of this water and you start tripping balls.
Yeah, handed out at raves,
Yeah, archangels and ancestors coming forth. You need to change that title, like the DMT water or something like that. Might be a better way to go. This diary records Michelle's spiritual journey to India. Yes. So this has acid head written all fucking over it. Michelle doesn't strike me as the type of woman who would, suddenly drop everything, head off to India. She seems far more kind
Not
of
at all
conservative. Doesn't look like a conservative, traditional country woman. Which again, I think because, there's a certain type of woman I'm attracted to. And when I saw Michelle first, I knew like behind that kind of prim and proper image that she's presenting to the there's a wild woman. Like those, frilly ruffled dresses. Just a crazy, sexually liberated woman. who could put manners on a man like me, and that's what every man wants, So her spiritual journey to India, where she travelled through the Himalayas, stopping off to visit Baba Keane Karoli's ashram in Kainchi Dam, Badranath. Jesus, would you make it easy? Would you not just say fucking India?
Somewhere in India.
Yeah.
West India, East India, something like that. Yeah.
And Dev Priyang, with 2 holy rivers, Alaknanda and Bhagirati, to form the Mother Ganga, right, where she received the blessing for the kingdom water. This is Michelle's true story. This is hauntingly beautiful and deeply. I have to read this book now. A deeply spiritual, inspiring journey of a Kundalini awakening.
Oh wow!
Within Michelle Keane, and that's fucking incredible. Now I don't know if people are aware of what a Kundalini awakening is, but it's no minor event.
No.
In Western medicine, they call it a nervous breakdown, I believe, or a break.
Schizophrenia.
Yeah, just I wonder if she did indeed have a Kundalini awakening, because that's no fucking small thing. It's not like something you do over a weekend getaway. I'm going away for a Kundalini, but really, okay, that's incredible. When a Kundalini awakens in a person, the chakras awake. Only then can you see the future and connect with God and attain self-knowledge. I can't see how this squares with her Catholicism.
Yeah.
But again, it's that modern thing. Is a lot of Western as well. Yeah, this new age attraction to India. So yeah, and again, it's not something I've heard her talk about. Any time I've heard her, it's a Christian message. There's no mention of this journey to India, the Kundalini awakening, her messing around with chakras, doing naked Thai massage. Oh, sorry, that's my fantasy. Like my mind just kicking in there. So Michelle has released the water as her ancestors and the angels directed her to do, and she now waits, knowing that her bit is done for the next stage to begin. Michelle believes that this water will reach many people and will bless many lives, and looks forward to the next stage of this miraculous journey of Kingdom Water. This story is what has now become the discovery of Kingdom Water. I'm buying this fucking book, man. This is going to be, I'm gonna fall madly in love with this woman as soon as I get my hands on this book. I can tell. Maybe, do you know what I might do? I might apply for a barring order now, just to save myself the hassle down the road, because I'm not going to be able to fucking tear myself away from this woman. I'll be camping outside her house. She thought she had a problem with those 2 guys showing up next week. I'm going to buy a camper van. I'll be parked outside the house with a bottle, an empty bottle, just begging her to fill it with her special water. And I think she knows what I mean by that. Right, yeah, so that's it. I had no idea that it was this deep. I had no idea about the trip to India, the Kundalini awakening. And then I got to be curious, but surely there must be something to this. I wanted to buy the water, really. Like, it's a great fucking advertisement. I want to try.
Yeah, I'd try it.
The water, like, so, it's got all these minerals, over 66 minerals, vitality, dynamism. It caused her to see fucking the Archangel Michael and the ancestors. I'd pay maybe 30, 40 euros for a couple of 100 milliliters of that type of water. Yeah. So then I went onto the website. There's no sign of the water. So okay, well, why is there no sign of the water? It doesn't take that much to set up a water company. Many people have done it, So then I thought, right, well, there must be some mention of it somewhere. So I just started doing a couple of searches. And then it turns out back in 2020, she was on Pat Kenny's show on News Talk. And she gave an interview to Pat Kenny about the water. So I think we'll have a listen to that. It's not very long. I think it's maybe 10 or 12 minutes long. I had cut it, but I think you listen to the full part of it, because it's a very interesting interview. Not in the way you would think. But we'll have a listen to it, and we'll notice it. Well, we should notice a couple of very important points during the interview, and especially given that Michelle is in some level of hot water, and people have, by and large, turned on her because of the unholy alliance with the loyalists up north. And again, rightly so, because strategically, it's a terrible fucking move. Like it's just
it's a blunder. She's spreading herself like as thinly as she possibly can, and that's saying a lot because she's a thick lady.
Yeah, but this makes more sense now, doesn't it? Like, because she's not just she's obviously politically naive, and I don't think she's not on a political journey. This woman is on a spiritual journey, and when you're on a spiritual journey, you want to bring people together. Freedom, dude. Or is that freedom, dad? In the chat,
I'm loving this Dars fella, man.
She's on a spiritual journey to bring people together, at least bring Christians together, in order to get rid of Islam,
right?
Which I'm not sure. And again, the Hindus as well. Obviously, she's fond of the Hindus, so maybe do you have a queued up there? And we'll have a listen to this.
Yeah. Do you want to stop sharing yours?
Oh yeah, that'd be useful, wouldn't it?
Yeah, just because fucking Restream is finicky like that. All right, here we go. Oh dear.
Yeah, look at Newstalk, like dirty devils.
Oh no.
Yeah, Pat's looking well. Strong back, like to carry that level of weight. Yeah. Oh my God. Like
that's the first thought I had. Like, you must be suffering.
Yeah, like that's impressive. Like, yeah, I'm coming to live with you, Michelle. Like, there's no stopping me now. And I have a tingle fishnet stockings as well. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's have a listen to this.
Okay, all right. Let's give it a whirl.
She even changed the names of water as well. Femdom water. Like, come on. she's throwing hints out there left, right, and centre, like that Kundalini awakening, the terrible things to Michelle.
You know what? My fucking dyslexic brain just saw that and saw freedom.
Freedom water. There you go. That says a lot about you, like, But you need a femdom in your life to bring you freedom, ultimate freedom. Just give up all responsibility. Be submissive to a big, hefty farm woman like Michelle. But I've dibs, and she's mine. You can find your own country woman.
Okay. All right. Let's listen.
The Pat Kenny Show on Newstalk with Mater Private Network. During current restrictions, don't ignore your health concerns. Our expert team is ready to help.
Some may view water as the tasteless, transparent fuel that keeps us all ticking, but my next guest, Michelle Keane, has published her first book arguing that we all have an innate spiritual connection to the water in and around us. The book is titled The Discovery of Kingdom Water and describes Michelle's journey from finding the seemingly spiritual water under her land in Kerry, right up to an apparent multi-million euro buyout offer for the site. Michelle joins us on the line. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning, Pat, and thank you so much for inviting me on your show this morning to talk about my book.
Now tell me, what makes this Kingdom Water so special?
I suppose the most important thing that makes this Kingdom Water special, Pat, is the unique minerals in this water. Initially, when Tawny, my friend, came down and channeled my ancestors about this water, they told her that I was sitting on a very valuable mineral resource of water with healing properties in the water. And so I asked her to ask my ancestors, did they want me to test this water? My grandmother, Mary Bridget, appeared to her.
I know, that's like...
Hang on. He's just letting her say this?
Yeah, it's Pat Kenny, because he knows what the fuck he's doing. He's like, okay, well, I'll just let her talk, let her get it out. And then he'll circle back, I'm sure, at some stage and draw attention to it. It's not a great sales pitch. And again, I can imagine her going in front of a She's keen on her pocket. Yeah, she is an entrepreneur. Like an entrepreneur. uh, so yeah, just in a bar or pitching it, when you start off with ancestors and channeling.
Yeah.
It's like I know corporate type people. They're switching off. Okay, this bitch is fucking
Oh yeah.
crazy.
And like, there's a lot of Irish people who, I mean, it's just who we are for thousands of years. For the most part, I think, secretly, we all kind of, understand this stuff has a reality to it. But you're still losing a lot of people when you just come out with that, with no build up. No, you're not laying any foundations. Like, I have voices in my head is basically what she said.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to I was playing cards with the Archangel Gabriel and Michael last night. Okay, right, I have to go. I'll be back in the morning. Yeah, so Pat lets her talk.
Which is good broadcasting.
Yeah.
Said, yes, we want her to test this water. So I took a chance, and I would not have been able to do this without the financial backing of a great friend of mine, Denise O'Leary, who is the partner of the great Johnny Burns of Burns Brothers Constructions in Duwa. And they took a punt on me in financially giving me the first 20,000 to open up the first well. So
okay,
I suppose...
Now, when you say test the water, how did you test the water? Did you send it to a lab?
Oh, I did, yeah, I did. Well, we're very fortunate here, Pat, in Kerry. We have
what else did he think? I suppose he's just saying, look, would you slow down and like explain these multiple steps you just introduced us to?
Yeah, because there's only one way to test fucking water, isn't it? It's like, send it to a laboratory. What do you put her through 7 trials? Like her ancestor told her, like, okay, you need to travel to the outermost island and bring back the sword of destiny. I'm Michelle's lawyer. You're all getting sued to the gills. Okay, good luck getting nothing. Yeah, and that's a thing, Frank. She needs to calm down on the old suing thing. You can't go on national or appeal to the nation that you're being silenced when you're talking about Healy Ray mentioning that he's silencing her by using lawfare against her, and then a week later she's doing the same fucking thing, like telling everybody, silencing everybody. I'm sending my lawyer on you. You can't say this about me. You can't say that about me. And then moan about free speech. We either it's either one or the other. We're allowed to talk and make mistakes and make fun of people. And we'll come back to bite the pair of us on the fucking arse. Like, let's be honest. Like, if you've read some of our comments, like, they're shocking. Granted, we don't. It's YouTube that censors them, but every now and again, I go in, like, if I'm feeling, good about myself and I want to be punished mentally, I go in and have comments like YouTube was withheld. It's like, fucking hell. Why did I come in here? But there's nothing really terrible that's being said about her. It's just like, okay, well, this mightn't be a great thing, and we're honoring her feminine power here. Some people might see it as, we're making light of of this woman's shape. But look at the position she's in. She's dominating Pat Kenny, tickling his belly as he carries her around the cowshed there, honoring her 16th century shapely body, which it wasn't always the case that men were attracted to thin ladies. There was a time when this voluptuousness was celebrated as an ideal of beauty, which I'm all on board with. I'm
absolutely
captivated now, like those eyes as well. Like, it's just
all right, calm down.
The love this woman can give.
Go over there to the fucking tap and run your head under the cold water, man.
Okay, let's listen
to do here.
Let's listen to Pat and Michelle.
We have the laboratories, Southern Scientifics. They're all based in Farranfore, 15 minutes back the road from me. And they actually, in fact, test Michael Murphy and his wife Kate. It's a family-run business, and they test water for water from all over the world and for Irish water here as well. And so they scientifically certified that I had over 66 minerals in the water. Now, then suppose...
Did she say over 66?
Over 66. That's what
so it's not a precise number. She's just saying 66.
Yeah. I don't understand. Why did I say 67? What is it? 67, 68, 69? 200, and it's obviously 67, isn't it? If you're saying like over 66, it's not going to push someone over the edge. And well, we were really looking for a mineral water with 67 minerals in it. Yours only has 66. Therefore, that's not fair now. Big lips, big tips, big lips. See what's happening to me? Horribly distracted. You have to change your name now from Big Tips to Big Lips. Yeah, so 66, over 66.
So now, like, she's into, this, esotericism thing. And, I am too, but in a grounded way, not this waffly shit. So, like, on that side of things, like, 6 isn't the number of the beast. It's really this thing, blah, blah, blah. It's a spiritual fucking thing. So she thinks she's doing, like, this magical water has more than 66 fucking minerals.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fucking hell, man.
Just wanted to verify this. I went and I spoke to John Hagerty of Oscar Wildwater, who was phenomenal in his help and support and encouraging me with this project. And he said, look, just to satisfy your own curiosity, get no harm getting a second lab, to verify the results. So we sent the results to Prague, and they came back identical to what.
Okay, so you found 66 minerals in the water. What scientific basis is there for any therapeutic powers from those 66 minerals?
Well, I put it like this to you, Pat. They all have healing properties, every single one of the 66 minerals in the water. Take, for example, and just one example, even lithium. Like lithium is used to reduce...
Lithium?
I know, right? Don't want to start with lithium. You don't want to start with fucking lithium. Like, they treat schizophrenia with lithium. You want to... That's the last one on down the line,
Yeah. You know what? Who was it? A few years ago, they wanted to put a certain amount of lithium in the water supply to combat depression.
Yeah, it was the fucking Indian doctor from Kerry, of all places, I think it was. Some grand conspiracy in Kerry to put us all on fucking lithium. There have been studies done where,
all right.
lithium, it makes people happier. Especially
Yeah.
if you see fucking monsters crawling out the wall at 2 o'clock in the morning, and they're telling you to go and murder all your neighbors. But again, in trace elements, I don't think it has any real effect at all. And the studies I briefly read, it's a particular amount of lithium that needs to have any beneficial effects, and it was only carried out on animal trials. They didn't get around to using it on humans. But we don't need lithium in the fucking water. What's this? Please stop laughing for no reason.
I think that's directed to me.
Yeah,
there's no reason to laugh. Like, where are you right now? What's going on around you?
Yeah, we have to. You see, people laugh for different reasons. Yeah. Sometimes you hear something funny in your head.
It's so annoying. You know what, Pat? It's not going to change. So maybe this isn't a show for you. No offense. Not everything is for everyone.
Yeah, we have different senses of humor. But it's
tolerances
okay.
for laughs.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Laughter can be nervous. It can be, like I said, you got a private joke going on in your head. Something just popped into your head. And
we don't Red Bull,
Yeah, we don't exactly, prepare this. We don't have a script, so you're essentially listening to just two dudes commenting on stuff that they came across and find humorous and try to inject some sort of a meaning from it at the end of it. So we'll try our best. We'll wait for the lithium to hit the water, and we'll be terribly serious and laugh at the appropriate times and moments. Yes, so not a great idea to mention. Putting lithium in the water.
Not the list. No. That's the top of your list, crazy.
Stress, relieve pain, and improve memory. And it literally, it grows the brain cells, and it also protects your brain cells from toxins, infections, and strokes. And it helps your immune system. So, like, with this lithium in the water, I have lithium. I have now.
She's hammering home this lithium.
Yeah.
She's lithium. Like, I think at some point, she was prescribed lithium,
Yep.
and she just really loved it,
Yeah, after the Kundalini experience, it's like, oh, all the archangels have disappeared and the ancestors are not crawling up to the fucking floorboards anymore. This lithium's great. Finally, some peace.
Proven that I have lithium in 7 of the wells. And another interesting mineral in the water was titanium. And this is a natural source mineral, Pat. It's just like zinc, and it's found in, you can find this in makeup and skincare products, right? And another one which we have a lot
of. You can build airplanes out of titanium. My motorbike actually has.
Oh, yeah, trace elements, Pat, not fucking chunks of it.
Yeah, it's kind of like. Did you hear that? Turns out, iron fortified cereals actually just have chippings of iron in them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. She's out grinding titanium out the back. Sprinkled it in the well. Maybe she's just next to the pharmaceutical company, and the runoff is just going directly into her well. So that's why there's 66 trace elements: arsenic, strontium 90.
Yeah, it's homeopathy, just a little tiny bit of the poison is the cure. Yeah.
As a frame made up partly of titanium. Titanium is a metal.
It is a metal, and it can be used for like hip replacements, all in medical procedures.
Wait, isn't titanium an alloy though?
No, I think it's you can have titanium alloys, but I think it's
right. It comes from an ore, like you can.
And part of it is motorbike. I don't know if you're aware, Pat, any chance he can get to mention his fucking motorbike. He has this little shitty BMW scooter that he's had for 20 fucking years. Every opportunity he brings up this. He must be on some money from BMW or something like that. Every fucking opportunity to mention his shitty motorbike. With his traces of titanium in his motorbike's frame. I don't know. Maybe he drove through Michelle's field or something and got stuck beside one of her wells. All right, carry on there.
Yep.
In hospitals, like titanium is a very, 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 very important mineral within this. Like this water, I suppose, Pat, because like it has another great mineral with a lot of strontium in it, which is a natural element that plays a vital role in bone health, and the benefits of strontium.
Before you make claims, you've got to have those claims vindicated by science. In other words, what we're doing at the vaccine at the moment, there are clinical trials, and they are telling us now that the vaccines have between 19 and 95% efficacy if delivered in the proper way. This is the Moderna and the Pfizer vaccines. I mean, you're making claims for trace elements in water.
So we have to remember this interview is from 2020, and it's nice to see Pat apply the same standard to the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines as he's now going to apply to Michelle's water, because as we know, the vaccines did in fact proved to be harmless. They went through the whole scientific process and the rigorous testing for traces of lithium and mercury and what have you. And no harm came from that, Pat, did it? It's nice to see Pat is not hypocritical in any way, fucking shape or form. And I'd almost forgotten about COVID again.
Yeah.
The amount of fucking lies and propaganda that this stooge and others like him propagated over the airwaves,
because we're talking about water, fresh water. Like how is what? I mean, there's certain things that she can't say legally about her water because she's not selling it as a cure, But so I mean, she's allowed to say anything about her well, just not about her product officially. So leave her alone.
And I don't remember Pat ever, heavily criticizing Pfizer or Moderna, and questioning them. Well, are you sure this is as you claim? What vigorous standards have been met here with this new experimental vaccine that we're essentially going to coerce the entire population of the known world to take. But Pat was very, very happy and in the knowledge that science would save us, but apparently not around water. The vaccine actually used kingdom water as the main ingredient. Maybe we've been better off with
doing
that.
wondrous things, but everything is about dosing, how much of it you have, how often you have it, all of that kind of thing.
Oh,
Have you
like
done any of
what? Maybe fluoride?
Yeah. Or the vaccine, 18 boosters. Yeah, it's all about the dosing.
Yeah, we put the same vial into the arm of a toddler or an adult or an elderly person.
Yeah.
Science.
Pfizer water. Cure all for everything. 2
Ah.
billion minerals.
those tests?
Pat, I'm actually just want to correct you on that, right? And that's a very valid point you're after making. I'm actually making no claims, right? I'm purely dealing with the facts of what I found that has been certified in my water.
No, but I mean, for example, you know, any trace element of something, unless you have an appropriate dose, it will not achieve the effect that might be already scientifically determined for it. I mean,
Right.
if you take aspirin in a tiny quantity, it won't relieve your headache. If you take it in the appropriate quantity, it might do so. Do you know what I
This is-
mean? So the fact that you have 66 elements or minerals, metals,
Or maybe, I don't know, Pat, maybe, you know, if you're only living on like a glass of that water all day, you're a water ovian or whatever they call it. Yeah, maybe you might have a point, but people eat other things, they consume other things. He's just being a dick here.
Yeah,
It's
he's
like,
being a pure and utter dickhead.
yeah,
Like,
it's like,
they've had
oh
her-
yeah, you know, who cares about your water? It has more stuff in it than other water. Oh, big deal.
Yeah.
It's not going to do anything. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
meanwhile, let's just skip by the whole Pfizer, Moderna vaccine, you know, because that's rigorously tested, and let's bring this woman on and shit on her fucking mineral water.
whatever they might be in your water, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are therapeutic in their effect unless you go through the trials.
Well, that's a very valid point, Pat. But as again, I'm saying I'm not making any medical claims at the moment. I'm in talks with one of the big pharmaceutical giants who have looked at these minerals and have said yes, they're very valuable minerals in relation to what they want to do with this water.
Go.
So I'm making no medical claims. The facts are I have 66 minerals in my water certified that have huge.
Now, the other thing that people will maybe be a bit skeptical about is this business of channeling your ancestors as to the usefulness of the water. I mean, people will think you're crackers.
And maybe so, and maybe they're right, Pat. But I suppose what I have understood on this journey is I have basically started this as a diary. I had never any intention to write a book until I met my Guruji Sashi Dubey in India.
Oh, Jesus
and
Christ.
he made me write
Doubling
this book.
down there.
Yeah.
You're just digging that hole deeper.
They're taking that well until you hit that water. What's
Like,
her guru? Ugh.
you know what? I think even, you know, Morgan, you might agree that you're the same. But like me in that position, yeah, I'd be under pressure, and I might not say that what I really should say in the moment. I'll look back later and think, oh, fuck, I should have said that.
Mhm.
What she should have said after she said, yeah, and, you know, maybe they will, and then she laughs, just leave it at that. Say, yeah, you know what? That's totally up to that other person to believe me or not.
Yeah, I would have faked the call. Going, hello, hello, hello. Are you still there, Pat? And then, but again, you should know better. Like if Pat Kenny, if they're inviting you on, but again, at least Pat, he's doing his job in that sense. And
Yeah.
he's not being, completely dickish. He's just questioning the validity of her claims. But again, it would be nice to see him have that same standard apply to real danger like Pfizer, but he's just not going to to do that because, I don't know, maybe they were spending a lot of money at the time. Advertisement. Or Kenny believes in that. He's part of the establishment, so he was pushing that narrative as well. I don't know if he eventually came around to a senses and decided that, well, maybe it's not great to roll out this experimental trial, and let's focus on the real danger, which is kingdom water, But yeah, the whole, ancestors and communing with the ancestors and the guru, Baba Banush, or whatever the fuck his name was. That's not great. You should have left that behind. But,
yeah. Well, look, you can have it, right? But what you need to do is study how the cults deal with media, TV, radio, right? They come on and they just say, we just believe in acceptance, and we can all get together, and if we work together, we can make the world a better place and all this stuff. But then, when you actually look into what they believe, it's like, Lord Xenu 6,000 years ago dropped frozen souls into a volcano and it splurred them out, and now they all stick to us, and now we need to get rid of them with auditing. That kind of weird shit is it's just kept in the background that you only find out about it if you are actually interested in the cult.
Yeah, and I think for her as well, you can't have the best of both worlds. So you can't say, like, this is scientifically proven, and then drag in channeling ancestors and Indian gurus. So I think if she just would have went down the path of, this is a spiritual water, and that she's a deeply spiritual woman, and she, had this Kundalini experience in India. I'm not sure I'd buy her water. Like, if somebody's selling and anything to do with India and water in the same sentence, fucking that. It just doesn't bring up images of health and vitality. Indian water, especially around the Ganges, where you're getting in for a dip, and there's like 7 or 18 different dead bodies just floating by you as you bathe in the Ganges.
And then downstream, someone's brushing their teeth from it.
Yeah. Dirty brown water.
And basically what I'm doing is I'm not trying to brainwash or change anyone's mindset on this. I have just simply explained a true story of my spiritual journey on discovering 7 springs of healing properties or minerals on my land.
Yeah, and this came from these telepathic visions that directed you towards this. Now, what about this offer of 34 million for a portion of your land?
Well, I've decided not to accept it at the moment, Pat, because I know we're looking.
She's not selling out to the corporations just yet, folks.
Just a higher figure, like 4 million's nothing.
Oh my God, she's disgusting. She's reprehensible. Actually, you know what? I would actually take the loyalists over her. She's selling the blood of our country, man.
Yeah, to the vital ingredient that we need for life.
Yeah, from the deepest depths of our fucking, like, the body of the goddess that we live on. It's disgusting, man.
Yeah, just holding out
for multi
amount of money.
Yeah, 100 million. Yeah, I think that's her target.
€1 billion deal with water, the amount of water I have in my land, Pat. Like,
while
I'm
billion,
not myself,
for a
I'm
€1 billion
not
deal.
orientated.
Wait, let's go back because I missed that.
What about this offer of 34 million for a portion of your land?
Well, I've decided not to accept it at the moment, Pat, because I know we're looking at a multi-billion euro deal with water, the amount of water I have in my land.
€1 billion deal.
Like, while I'm not myself.
Hang on. She's talking about it like she just found an oil well where, like, underneath her land is this reserve of oil, and there's a limited quantity of it that can be measured. But no, the water is coming from somewhere else. and then it would normally go somewhere else, only she's sucking it out of the earth. So,
Yeah, so I'm just having a look here. Ballygown. So Ballygown, when it was sold, the last time it was sold for 250 million. So she'll be a long time waiting for a fucking multi-billion-dollar, billion-euro deal on water. And again, it doesn't look great if you're so concerned with the ancestors and Archangel Michael. Hold out for a billion-dollar deal, Michelle.
She's scamming her ancestors.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, they there's something to sustain her and the other people in her life and the country. Oh yeah, no, sell it to Pfizer. It's grand.
Yeah.
Wow, what a cunt.
Myself, I'm not money orientated. I want the people of Ireland first and foremost to be drinking this water.
I'm not money orientated.
She's not taking the deal just yet. And then she mentioned a higher amount of money that it's worth and saying, I'm not money orientated.
Yeah.
That is just straight up fucking gaslighting, man.
Yeah. And she's going to tell us that it's she's doing it for the country.
Looking at a multi-billion euro deal with water, the amount of water I have in my land, Pat. While I'm not myself, I'm not money orientated. I want the people of Ireland first and foremost to be drinking this water. I tested this water, Pat, up against the top 10 water giants in the water industry, and ours is more than comparable than any of them. I also went to Lourdes myself as part of
this is just to check, when you're saying comparable, I mean, many of the waters, you're obviously your pals in Oscar Wilde water have a particular set of minerals in their water. Each water that is on the market tends to have a particular characteristic because of the land from which it is drawn and the minerals that leach into that water from the land around them. And that's why each one of them tends to have a bit of a different flavour, whether it's Perrier or Ballygowan or any of the waters. They all have a different characteristic because of the different mineral makeup in the water.
Well, I suppose I've tested it up against Ballygowan and every one of them, but if you take Ballygowan for an example, Pat, they have only ordinary water. We have extraordinary water. Very few
water. She's an extraordinary water.
Oh my God, she's really not helping herself here, is she?
Oh, no. I just had a look at Oscar Wilde water sold for 29 million. So she should have took that 34 fucking million.
29? Oh, come on. Yeah,
for selling fucking water, yeah, there was a time when people thought it was, the most ridiculous thing in the world that you could sell bottled water to people. Why is everyone from the countryside the biggest cash sales in Ireland? It's a good fucking question.
It's not everyone,
No,
there's
we know
a
what he
certain
means.
class, there's a certain class of countryside dwellers. Yeah.
There's a level of cute tourism.
Yeah.
It is. It's depressing and distressing, but it does seem to be pretty fucking prevalent that as soon as you scratch the surface, everyone's trying to milk money out of people.
Yeah.
Take Ballygowan for an example, Pat. They have only ordinary water. We have extraordinary water. Very few water.
She sounds like fucking Donald Trump. Doesn't she?
Greatest water. Big, beautiful water. Molecules in this water are twice the size of normal molecules. This is H2O. Big, beautiful femdom water. Golden shower of waters.
Oh, Dars has a good one here. Let's all knock on Michelle's door and ask for water.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We could have a procession like the Muslims. We'll pilgrimage from all parts of the country to the 7 holy wells. Yeah, I want a mineral count on that water. I want my money back. There's only 65 minerals in my water.
Waters in the world have 66 minerals in their water, and the beautiful thing about this water, Pat, is it's nitrate free. how many washers can you test? If you went into Dalkey, to your tap in your home in Dalkey, and took a sample of this water down to Michael Murphy and tested it, you might be lucky to get back 10 minerals in the water. Like, I've no problem, like, with people being skeptical about this, because now what I have realized on this journey is that people that have become skeptical have now become true believers in Kingdom Water.
True
like
believers.
This morning, for example, I came on your show, I met him, we're going to the creamery, and he rolled down the window and he said, "Best of luck on Kinney this morning." He says, listen, he said, "My wife read the book." He said, "I've never read a book in my life." He says, "I cannot believe," he said, "this is just amazing," he said. So, like, I've had messages.
The first book the fella ever read in his life, and he's blown away by it.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the power of books, you know? I mean, yeah, you don't have much to go off of, man.
Yeah, words. Who knew? It's like someone's talking to me through the pages. Yeah. Again, not a great example, you know. I met this dummy on the road this morning. He's never read a fucking
Country
book.
bumpkin.
Yeah, and you know, granted, I had to teach him how to read before he could actually read it. But he's amazed by it. He's a true believer now, based on the book. Have you sampled your water? No, he just read about it. All right, so he's gullible and easily suggestible and open to advertising. Okay.
Just from people, like, I haven't even actually launched the book yet, Pat. I'm selling it myself on kingdomwater.ie website. Eason's now, from last week, have agreed to sell it in their 54 shops, and O'Mahony's Bookshop in Tralee, and Polymaths and Ballycity Garden Centre. They're all selling books.
I mean, I'm sorry. It's just so parochial and
Yeah, I know. Just stop it, Eason.
esque. You know?
John Joe's Logs and Turf, putting it out next week.
Garden Centre. Oh my God! Do you remember we were going around to the iPass centres, and you know we would need. Well, you'd be doing the recon with the Google Maps, finding us places to park and meet up and go to these places by foot, and you're saying, "Why are there always fucking garden centres next to these places?"
Yeah, there's always 20 feet down the road. There's a fucking garden centre. Like this must be like fucking
Free
2
parking.
billion garden centres throughout Ireland. Like every one of them, there's like a garden centre, which is great for parking. Yeah, always a fucking garden centre.
The great garden centre conspiracy.
Yeah,
but how do you not? What does she mean? The book isn't launched yet. I mean, she's selling it.
Yeah, she hasn't. I think she's saying that she hasn't got a publisher, like, so. She's obviously self-published.
Right.
Whatever deal she's got with Eason's have agreed to carry the book. But I think anyone with persistence can get Eason's to carry a book for them. Is Michelle or Alex Jones? Maybe she needs some supplements, a supplement line. Yeah, femdom supplements. But all those minerals as well. Like, she can make a fortune. Just go into Back Remedies or whatever the fuck it's called. Start selling, brain improvers, but I think Michelle's done. I really do. I think after this March on the 8th, I think she's going to take a step away from the nationalist.
You want to, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone made a good point. They're not in the chat. They're not going to come down, the loyalists, because they're busy building their fucking giant fires.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get. I mean, well, actually, no. I was going to say you can't, get absolutely shittered that often in 1 week, but maybe they can, I don't know.
Well, she's invited them down, so unless it's representatives, like, so Freedom Dad will come down, and a couple of other guys. I don't know if they bring out the Union Jack, and it's like, but I think they're cleverer than that. They'll it's just to show some level of solidarity, but just not a great move. It's not the time for that. We discussed that last week, that we have a shared goal in common, but it needs to be dealt with separately. And I don't know if the loyalist community are big into mysticism. It strikes me as the type of community who would be into Archangel Michael. I was like, is he a fucking Catholic, or like is he one of us, or is he one of them? Yeah. So again, but I get the whole. It makes more sense to me now with the spiritualism and this notion of wanting to bring peace and harmony,
Right.
in the world, and
Yeah.
make a few quid selling the old water. You know, like, yeah.
Jesus. So where does she get her money? She has businesses, you know. She's an active person, you know.
Yeah, she has an interior decorating business as well, and she's connected. She mentioned earlier that she got 20 grand from some builder in Kerry to test the water.
I have proven that people that have been skeptical have now become true believers in Kingdom Water. And I mean, this is...
Well, I mean, true believers could mean they like the taste of it, that it beats other waters that they've sampled. But I just don't want you to be making health claims that will mislead
Shut up,
people
you
maybe
fucking
into
cunt.
drinking this stuff, thinking they can.
Oh, it sickens me. Like, just it's the COVID thing. I got triggered by the whole fucking of COVID. I don't want you making health claims.
It's
well,
fucking
what?
hypocritical,
Yeah, like what? So this fucking magical vaccine will save everybody. It will stop transmission. Your granny will stop dying. Yeah, okay, Pat. And yeah, your real concern is about someone making claims about fucking water, mineral water.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
off.
It's not like, you know, the danger of making claims about something is that either, you know, someone might have a sensitivity to that thing, or they might take too much of it and cause some other health complication for themselves. That's the only reason why there's that legal bar there. But this is fucking water, man.
Yeah.
You can drink as much of her water as you can drink of any other water, because the maximum that you go over is called water toxicity, and that has nothing to do with the fucking minerals in it. You know, he's such a shit merchant.
Can cure the devil and all, when you know there's no proof.
You're actually speaking there now, and wrongly there. Can I just correct you? I'm making no claims, right? I'm purely dealing with the facts, Pat, that there's 66 minerals scientifically proven
she said
by
it.
2 laboratories.
66. No, Lord.
Oh, the truth comes out eventually.
Yeah, there's a darkness to this woman. I can taste it almost.